Hey everybody, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. TammyTalks here. Let's talk Kings of Napa, Season 1, Episode 5, how Stella got her Pinot back. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows, both scripted and reality. During those recaps, I interject my own thoughts, opinions, and theories. So, if you enjoy the type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, hop into the comment section, and let's talk about it. The episode starts off with August. So she's in her house, her apartment, and she's asleep. She has on headphones, which I think is weird if you're at home, but she has on headphones, and we see this man come in. He's dressed in all black. He like stares at her to make sure she's asleep, and then he starts like rummaging through some of the things in her house. We don't know exactly why he's there or what he's doing initially. He's gone. August wakes up. So I don't know if it was a dream or if that was real, but she wakes up, she's looking all around trying to figure out who was really in there. So we then see Grace. Grace is out on the fields and she's telling August that Christian left some of the damn grapes out. Because of that, they have soured. They needed to be harvested right away. So 15% of the harvest is ruined. August, I don't remember the monetary figure she said, but it sounded like a lot. Enough for her to be like, God damn. So it was definitely a lot. So she's telling Grace, like, what can we do? How can we salvage it? Trying to tell her, you know what, I'm going to get Bridget back. Bridget cares about the grapes. Bridget knows what to do. We can work this out. So August goes and she talks to her mom about bringing Bridget back because we got to do something. Christian don't know how to take care of the vines. She can come in on some mentorship type vibes. And hopefully that'll help us, get back on the foot, back on the good foot, basically, back on the same accord that we need to be on. Meanwhile, back at her house, Bridget is kicking her mama out, telling her mother that, we all can't be up in here. It's me, it's you, it's Yvette, it's too many people up in here, and like we need some space. Bridget is still kind of reeling from the fact that not only has her mother lied about who her father is, but the fact that she now got fired because of her mother's indiscretions. So Melanie understands and she's okay with it. We then see Dana and Rose. I always forget her name, but we see Dana and Rose, and Dana is looking like he's working as usual. Rose is telling him like she's ready to start a family. So let's go ahead and get the ball rolling and all that other type of stuff. And you can see there's some reluctancy on his part, but we don't really know exactly why just yet. August and Vanessa show up to Bridget's house, inviting her back to work. She got an attitude. For somebody that's been bitching about your job, pretty much begging to get the job back, they come to offer you the job and you got an attitude about it. Bridget's been rubbing me the wrong way, y'all. So she doesn't believe them. Vanessa is like, look, I made a mistake. I shouldn't be punishing you for the sins of your mother. I want to welcome you back to the company and back to the family. So they're like, just so you know, it's not on some, we are using you for this wine. There's an event in New York. August can't go. So you and Vanessa are going to go. And that's to show you that, yeah, we're bringing you back in for real, for real. So Bridget is like, okay, I'll go. So she's kind of excited. And I'm like, girl, you just had an attitude. Oh, she's like, something is, I can't with Bridget. I can't plug up my thing, because otherwise, the screen's going to keep going out. So after that, we see back at the house, Christian is telling August that he thinks Bridget is the one that's ruining the grapes and she might be the extortionist. And August is looking at him like, nah, this is not it. He tells her that, she had the weed killer and she has a drill. Those are the two things that are needed, the two things that would be needed to ruin the vines. He asked if they involved Dana. Should we let Dana know? And she tells him absolutely not. I don't want to hear Dana's mouth about it, on top of the fact that Dana already feels that I took too long to move with Otis. If I'm wrong about this, no one will ever trust me again. Dana is in his office and Yvette comes in. You can see Dana is looking at a doctor in like his webpage. She's asking him what's wrong, his little smart ass. If there was something I wouldn't tell you. And it's like, you want to say what's wrong. Just go on and talk about it. But basically, he is nervous about having a baby because there's a 50% chance that he passes on the dwarfism gene. He doesn't want that for his baby, so he's scared about it. Yvette flips it and it's like, yeah, the world ain't ready for another you. Kind of on some, if the baby comes out as a little person, they come out as a little person, but it's really the personality that really matters. And I was thinking, oh, and then like he got the best personality. He's smart, but personality wise, could use some tweaking. So we see August is at dinner with Kelvin. They about to get real appropriate with the honeycomb, but she gets a call from Otis, and Otis has woken up. He's now conscious again. Remember, Otis went running last week when the police just stopped to ask him a couple questions. So they rush over to the hospital to talk to Otis. Otis' old ass been stealing grapes. Not actually doing like extorting, but stealing grapes. They said, why did you run for some grapes? He said, because I thought that y'all had reported me. I'm a black man. No matter whether I ran or not, it was going to be an issue. I still had a 50% chance of being shot. So she tells him, we thought you were the extortionist. And he was like, I loved your father. He's probably thinking, Lord, I took a couple grapes. And I'm thinking, Otis, why are you stealing grapes? Are they that good? They probably are super good. So the PI is meeting with Christian and August, and he tells him, Quincy, that he has traced the calls, and all the calls that were sent to their father from the extortionist is pinging off of a tower near Bridget's house. So they looking like, oh, what? So the Quincy wants to put cameras and bug her house. He said, because that's the next logical step. August doesn't want to do that. I'm sick of August not wanting to do nothing, girl. You are running this company. I get that you trying to stay in the fold with Bridget, but the way Bridget been sticking and moving lately, you should be questioning her to be real. Because how convenient is it that she brought up the fact that they went to go get those lunches, that there's a bank across the street? Like, come on, August. Logic. So August doesn't want to do it because she feels like Bridget would never forgive her, but she reluctantly agrees to do it. She doesn't want Dana to know, though. Melanie goes to the doctor because she got a rash all up and through her arm. The doctor asked her, has she been out of the country? She said, yeah, I went Doctors with No Borders, and she's been in like rural Africa. So the doctor gave her a look like, girl, you might have the... may have the West Nile or something like that. So she's going to run some tests, but she tells her, if you've been tired and stuff like that lately, you need to have somebody keep an eye on you. But we know that she just basically got kicked out of her daughter's house. So more than likely she's in a hotel. So hopefully we know an episode don't open up with her peeled off in the hotel. So Bridget is in New York with Vanessa. And they're out shopping and having a good time, making plans for the day. And Vanessa tells her that she, instead of going to see like a show or something, she has something for them to do together. And she doesn't tell Bridget what it is, but tells her that be prepared because it just might be a lot. Might be more than you're anticipating. August is back at the house and she is like trying to pace and wrap her mind around the fact, can I talk today? Wrap her mind around the fact that Bridget could low-key be the extortionist, right? So she gets this memory of Bridget painting, and they're talking about something about a friend of theirs bleached somebody's clothes or something. And Bridget was like, that's definitely what I would do. I would start slow with like a well-calculated plan and just pounce on them. And August was like, girl, for real? And Bridget tells her, yes, there's a side of me that you don't know and that I hope you never have to see. And I said, oh, okay. So as a result of that, August has a panic attack because now it's like, oh, Lord, she might really be the extortionist. So Christian is talking to August outside after she has her panic attack because he finds her, helps her breathe in, breathe out. Deep breaths, nice and slow. And when Dana walks out in his own phone, what up? Christian tells him, and he was like, I tell Dana everything. So they decide all together that they're gonna bond together, the three of them, because they need to find out what the hell is going on with the family. Yvette is meeting with some man. It's not about branding. I think Yvette is like a vendor for the company, so like she gets them into different stores and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she's meeting with this guy, having him taste a bunch of the different wines. It's like he has a wine flight, trying to entice him to make that deal so she can land the deal because if she lands the deal, Vanessa will let her move back into the house, and that's really what Yvette wants because she don't want to be living up in Bridget's little 1-bedroom apartment. So August is talking to Kelvin on the phone about, what she should do and how they were thinking about bugging Bridget's house. He was like, if you were my client, I would tell you it's illegal. But because you're not my client, I'm just going to advise you to be careful. So while she's doing that, she picks up one of her picture frames and she feels a camera. So she's like, I know good and goddamn well. So she gets off the phone with him, and what I'm assuming is the man that we saw that was dressed in all black was Quincy putting the cameras around her place. So she's mad and she runs up on Quincy and it's like, you got me all the way effed up. Why are you bugging me? And he tells her, okay, fine, but you're not the only one paying me. So she's able to quickly put together that Dana is, at the crux of it. So Vanessa is still with Bridget, takes Bridget to like a facility, a nursing home, assisted living, something like that. Brings out this woman who looks like Vanessa, so good job casting. And this lady is like, hey, Vanessa, getting a little hippie girl. You ain't gonna never find no man when you got thighs, thunder thighs like that. I said, oh, not the mama being rude. Okay. So the mother then turns and looks at Bridget and immediately was like, Melanie, I told you don't come back around here. So basically, Melanie was a little ass when they were growing up. And it was one night she came home drunk and high and just doing the absolute most. She got into a shouting match with their father. The father ended up having an aneurysm and died as a result. So her mother had a nervous breakdown and blamed Melanie. Because the mother also told Bridget when she thought she was Melanie, you should have died instead of him. Should have been you that died. So Bridget is on some, y'all always just told us that she didn't want to be a grandmother. She didn't want to be around us. Like, what is this? Vanessa told her, well, I don't think she wanted to be a mother. But, that's just how we do things in our family. And that's so true. I feel like a lot of times in the Black community, we are very, very quick to brush stuff under the rug, hide stuff as best as we can. We're not like as open about things, and we don't talk through situations and conflicts and just traumatizing things as much as we should, just as a people. So Vanessa basically tells her, look, Bridget, this is what your mama do. This was she be on. So I'm going to have to tell you, like, your mother's a wicked person, girl. Now, I'm trying to move past because this ain't your fault. But it has to either be us, the kings in the family, or your mother. But you can't be going back and forth between the two. And I said, what a thing to make her choose. Like, Vanessa has continued to rub me the wrong way since the first episode, but wow, Vanessa. So Bridget, definitely has some thinking to do. It's a hard choice for her because, she's mad at her mom right now. So Bridget gets back. So Dana, Rose, Christian, and August are all sitting in a room. Bridget comes in and was like, oh, look, my bag. And they all was looking like, yeah, the bag that got all the what's in it. So she was like, it's just been a lot. It's been a long day. I learned a lot on the trip. So August asked her, well, what did you learn? Do you want to share? And she was like, no. And I'm like, why are you back being a bitch? What happened? So then she turns right to Rose and asks Rose if she wants to go out dancing. I said, August, quit messing with her. Y'all brought Bridget back to let her work. Let her ass work and don't talk to her about nothing else because she the one that's acting foul right now for no reason. Now, even through all of this, August has still been trying to be there for you and still be your sister cousin, and you still are giving her, super, super pushback. And I mean, I get it, but I also feel like Bridget did not understand the position that August was put in. You know what I mean? So we then see Rose tells her that yeah, she'll go dancing with her. She would love to. So she, as Bridget is walking out, she gets a phone call from some man that was like, "You quit Sean and Sean. I thought that you needed them as part of your plan." Bridget says, "No, no, I got it all under control." And I said, "Girl, are you really the extortionist?" Okay. All right, girl. So then Yvette and the man that we saw from that she was having a meeting with earlier, they clearly just got done doing the do. So they're coming down the stairs and she's like, I gotta hurry up and get you out of here before Vanessa comes home. I ain't even supposed to be in the house. But she didn't want to take that man back to Bridget's apartment, so she took him back to, her old bedroom. As she's coming, turns around, she sees Vanessa who's back in town and told her a deal's a deal. Welcome home. So then we see August goes up to Dana and asks, "Why are you bugging me?" And Dana was like, "To see how weak you are." And I was like, "Dana, you're doing a lot." And he was like, "I know that you're like pining over Kelvin and obsessed with his wife. And I know that you are trying to replace me and you were looking to interview people for the CFO position." So August starts laughing. And she said, "Yeah, I was going to hire a new CFO because I was going to promote you to be co-owner, co-CEO with me so we can get rid of all this tension." And he was like, "You lying." She said, "No, I even have the paperwork all drafted up, but I guess I'm glad I didn't do that now." So so Dana is standing there with egg on his face because, this what he does. Like he's so insistent on being at the top himself. He never once considered or thought that maybe I should just try to work with my sister. So she tells him, and the reason, FYIers, the reason that I'm keeping such a close eye on Kelvin is because my dad and clearly my brother are both assholes that can't be trusted. So that's why I'm doing it. I said, oh. So then Dana's just standing there looking like, well, I'll be damned. You messed up now, so oh well, Dana. So we see August and Kelvin. They're at the football field of their old high school. She has like a little setup, like picnic little setup for them. They talk about how she stopped drinking Pinot because that was their drink together, and it remind her of him. So they end up having sex in the stands. I said, oh, as a lawyer, you should know better. That's illegal. But they end up having sex there. And I'm like, not only are y'all having sex, but y'all was like really taking off y'all shirts. Y'all couldn't even be discreet about it. But okay. So they're going to have sex in the stands. Do your thing, y'all. So then we see Rose and Bridget are back at Bridget's house after a fun night of dancing. So look like they drinking Honey Jack. Rose gets hers neat, okay? And Bridget puts hers on ice. So they're talking, and Bridget is like, she's stressed, and it's just so much going on, and, she learned so much. She then says that she has known that Reginald was her dad for years. And I said, what? So she has known that. So I'm wondering, was she paying him to keep, right? Was she charging him, extorting him to keep quiet about that? Is that really where Melanie got her money? I don't know. It's a lot. But after she says that, she kisses Rose. And Rose was like, oh, girl, no. I'm about to have a baby with Dana. And then Bridget was like, you don't want to have another part of that family. And then she starts kissing her again. So then they pan over and we see Dana is watching them on the camera. So then Rose runs out and that's the end of the episode. This was Kings of Napa, season 1, episode 5, y'all. I feel like Bridget being extortionist would be too easy, but she's definitely involved somehow. So I guess we will find out what happens next week. If you have not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and hop into the comment section. Catch you guys next week.